Hey everyone, this is Tell the Truth Sports Radio. I'm your host, Ron Fitch, and I'm going to tell you the truth about what happened this weekend. I told you it was the best weekend in the NFL, and I believe I went 1-3, but it was all the games were very good. Some were great, some were the greatest. This one I'm going to talk about was one of the greatest playoff games of all time, going right up there with Miami and San Diego at 81. This was even better because the quarterback play was even next level. It was great. And Kansas City is very fortunate to win this game because I'm gonna tell you, it was 14. Let me go back before we get to the 25 points in the fourth quarter scored combined by both teams. The second quarter was big because Buckner, who's a good field goal kicker, missed a 50-yard field goal. Kansas City's going into half with a chance to go up 3 and get the ball. That was big. That was really, really big because Kansas City did end up kicking a field goal, but they could have went up, and that could have been the difference in the game. Then they end up scoring. Hardman with a terrific run for 25 yards. It was nice, but Buckner misses the extra point. So now it's special teams, which is the reason why Green Bay's home is hurting Kansas City. I said, the way Josh Allen is playing, this is going to come back to hurt them. And Josh Allen throws a 75-yard dime to Gabriel Davis, who had 4 touchdowns in this game. And they got inched a little closer. And Kansas City gets stopped. And now Buffalo has the ball. Actually, no, Kansas City gets a field goal. Now Buffalo is, and I knew it was a toss by Dane Jackson to McKinnon. They tried to get cute instead of letting Mahomes make a play because you score there. That's probably enough. Even if Buffalo scores back, you could run the clock out the way you were moving the ball. But that opened the door. Now it's 26-21. Here comes Buffalo on a long drive. Start with 8:55 left, and they drove down the field all the way to the 2-minute warning. 4th down and 13, and Gabriel Davis made an Allen Iverson move on the defender, put him on the ground, touchdown pass. And then Josh Allen does what he does best, throwing that back into the end zone pass to Diggs. Now they're up 3, minute 54 left. Here comes, and has timeouts. There's plenty of time. They didn't even need it. Patrick Mahomes finds a crossing route. Beautiful crossing route where Tyreek Hill beats his defender. And once he catches the ball, when you take a bad angle, Tyreek Hill, a 15-yard completion turns into a 64-yard touchdown like it did. He walked past the secondary. The secondary was running one speed, and Tyreek Hill, the cheetah, was taking off like a real cheetah, flying down the sideline to 10-yard line gate. Once I saw the peace sign flashed at the 10-yard line, knew it was a touchdown. All right, now you're excited. Minute 2 left. Buffalo has timeouts. All right, let's see if they could get a quick first down. 12-yard pass to Gabriel Davis. 16-yard pass to Emmanuel Sanders. And then 19-yard touchdown with 13 seconds left to Gabriel Davis. And my narrative was Josh Allen, and it was a epic, terrific drive. Both the drives, legendary. It could have been a legendary drive in this franchise. 13 seconds left. I said the Bills are going to win. The Bills could win the Super Bowl. The Bills will beat Cincinnati at home. They can go in there and play the winner of the Rams and the Niners. And Josh Allen's going to be the biggest hero in Buffalo. He's going to slay the dragon after 4 Super Bowl losses. 13 seconds left. Now, I know Kansas City's got some timeouts, but I'm not sure. They're going to have to take a long field goal with 13 seconds left. In the back of my mind, I said Holmes could make some plays, but not sure with 13 seconds left. The 19-yard pass to Tyreek Hill set the tone. And then the seam route right down the field to Kelsey with the wherewithal, 25 yards. And they were able, because of their timeouts they kept, that allowed them with 3 seconds left, Buckner hits a 49-yard field goal, and the place goes crazy because they had the game lost. Buffalo was celebrating like crazy with it. With the time, it was 36-33. Buffalo, 13 seconds left. Their sideline was going nuts. Well, they should. They're going to go to the Super Bowl. But then it goes to overtime. I said, oh, they better not let Kansas City get this ball. Kansas City won the toss. I said, this is going to be heartbreaking for Buffalo. And Kelce and Hill, just the guys who have done it all these 3 years makes the play. Kelce, 8-yard touchdown. Beautiful in the end zone, sideline route, beautiful pass. They end up winning, and they move on. And I wonder if the Buffalo's going to regret, without Tre'Davious White, their best corner, that hurt. Honey Badger was out, so Kansas City was getting lit up on the back end. But Kansas City figured out a way, and Mahomes, it was calm. 13 seconds left. Just the demeanor was like, okay, we got 2 timeouts. We get some chunk yard plays, and we're going to kick a field goal. And he did. He was amazing. This was legendary at 123.1 QBR and 378 yards, 3 touchdowns. And he rushed for 6. He was their leading rusher. Both guys, Josh Allen had 68 yards rushing. He's 329 passing, 4 touchdowns. 136 QBR. Neither quarterback threw interception. They were next level. Tyreek Hill, 150 passing. Kelce, 96. McKinnon had a big screen in overtime. Pringle and Hardman had some big plays. And Kansas City found a way. Buffalo, this is a horrible loss. This is a devastating loss. It's hard to come back from this one. Buffalo can say, listen, we'll come back and we'll beat Kansas City because they play them again in the regular season. To be in the regular season doesn't mean anything because they did that before. But this one, you better have the resiliency of the 90s Bills to come back from this. You get blown out, it's easier. Okay, we'll come back. But when you have the game won and you have a championship set up, you're probably going to get a ring if you just hold on and win. Possibly. And you lose. And that's tough. And Kansas City's moving on, and they showed me the heart of a champion. And if they do win this championship, and Mahomes is young, he wants his second ring to get the taste of that bad Super Bowl loss out of his mouth. Okay, I picked the Rams to go to the Super Bowl, and I knew playing Tampa would be tough, but I thought because of their pass rush, they could get to Brady, which they did, and eke out a win, which they did, but it could have been a lot easier. The Rams really are fortunate they won this game. They're up 20-3 because of a great pass to Cooper Kupp, a deep pass where they scored, and another touchdown aided by Ndamukong Suh's idiotic, unnecessary, unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. So up 20-3. They get a turnover by Brady. Brady to a bad pass. So you better take advantage of that. Cam Akers fumbles. It was close. It looked like his helmet might have touched the grass, but it was close. They ruled it a fumble. That was costly. They could have went up 27-3 to go into the half with the ball. Now, because you want to go up 34-3. You want to go up by so many points so when Brady comes back, you're okay. But they did come out of the second half and end up with a score. A cool play they ran where Matthew Stafford gets a quarterback sneak. Okay. Tampa gets a field goal. They hold them to a field goal, 27-6. You're okay. If you could take up some clock, take out the rest of, to me, the Rams had the ball, take up the rest of the third quarter and maybe get a field goal, go up 3 scores, and you're good. But Cooper Kupp fumbles. And fumbling. And I said, this could be another Cook fumble where Tampa takes advantage of it and wins. And they took advantage of it. They scored. Fournette scored. As soon as it was 27-13, I said they're going to tie the score. The score will be tied, and somehow the Rams are going to have to win after blowing the lead. I knew it was coming. I didn't know it was going to come like this. Brady gets sacked as a fumble. And then Brandon Allen fumbles. Now Brady has the ball. They get stopped on fourth down. Here come the Rams, and now they're driving. All right. Okay, now we're talking. Well, wait. Yes, now we're talking. Now they're driving, and now the Rams are driving. Okay. 6:36 left into the game. In the fourth quarter, a field goal makes it 30-13. A field goal, you're in good shape. It was 6. Even Brady can't even come back. He missed the field goal. I said, I know he's coming back. They stop him. But then the Rams hike the ball over Matthew Stafford's head, and they end up giving the ball back to Tampa Bay. And Mike Evans had a pretty good game against Rams. He burned him for a 55-yard touchdown. Great pass, 7-point game. Okay, run some clock and make it hard for him, Brady, to come back and tie the score. But Cam Akers fumbles again. And they have the ball at the 30-yard line with 2:25 left, which is a blessing in disguise because you know Tampa's going to score and tie the game. But now you know that the Rams may have some time left to avert disaster, to go to overtime. Because you know if it was going to overtime, Tampa's winning a toss. Brady's going down, driving down. Fournette will score, and they end up winning. And it's a disaster. But they end up scoring with 42 seconds left. And I'm like, you better figure out a way to get the ball down the field. And lo and behold, it was Cooper Kupp, 20-yard pass, okay, now you're kind of in business, 40, you're on 44, but the 44-yard bomb on man-to-man coverage on Cooper Kupp is inexcusable. And I told you, Tampa Bay secondary is going to send them home. And they sent them home. The Rams ended up winning. And that was the biggest reason their secondary got lit up by Cooper Kupp and Beckham. And Beckham has been a godsend. 6 catches, 69 yards, a beautiful sideline catch. Kupp, 9 receptions, 183 yards, 1 touchdown. Higbee was solid. But now the Rams end up beating Tampa. But the fumbles, the fumble at the end of the half, they better, between now and next Sunday, the practices better be better. They have to clean up those mistakes, Artem. There's no way I don't care about how bad Jimmy Garoppolo plays. There's no way in the world they'll beat the 49ers like this, making all these silly, goofy mistakes. But they're home. If they win, they stay home. And the one thing that's going to help the Rams, everybody on every sports guy on the planet Earth is going to pick the 49ers. The Rams will have a potential chip on their shoulder after getting beat up by the Niners, and everybody's saying how the Niners are going to push them around and beat them up. And everybody's going to pick the Niners. So that's a good thing that McVay could use during the week. So I got the Rams and the Chiefs right. So I was 2-2 because Saturday was just, it was a disaster. And part of me said, man, I should have picked the 49ers. But Green Bay, we'll go over this game that Green Bay lost. And this is a game the Niners took from Green Bay. Green Bay, they come out smoking. And I'm going to tell you the biggest, regardless of anybody tells you, Green Bay came out smoking. They scored. They're pushing. They're stopping the run. They're sacking Garoppolo. Gary had an amazing game. Their defense was really good. Almost toe-to-toe with the 49ers. Very good. With 4 minutes left in the first quarter, Mercedes Lewis's fumble, because Green Bay's driving there at the San Francisco 42, and they're on a roll. They're running the ball. They're ready to go 14-0. That could have been big. That might have been a lead, and the way they were playing, that might have got them and launched them into more points where the Niners would have never been able to come back and play Niner football. Mercedes Lewis fumbles the ball. Last year, it was Cook who fumbled. that gave Tampa an opportunity to tie the score and beat them and end up winning. That took a ring away from Drew Brees. This fumble takes a potential chance at a championship from Aaron Rodgers. This is the biggest fumble of the game. The Niners were able to settle down. They didn't score because Garoppolo threw a horrible interception toward the end of the half. And then Aaron Rodgers hits Aaron Jones for a 75-yard gain. And Jaquiski Tarrant makes the tackle that saved probably the game because special teams reared his ugly head. They get the Frisco blocks the potential field goal at the 21-yard line, and it could have been 10-0, and they block it. And he ran right up the middle. It was a poor job of trying to block the player on the Niners. Now, third quarter, because this was big too. The third quarter comes, and the Niners are able to get 3. So Green Bay has a golden opportunity to take a 14-3 lead going into the fourth quarter, which would have been huge the way their defense was playing. They get all the way to the San Francisco 24-yard line. They commit a 5-yard penalty for holding. It sets them back bad enough. And this is Aaron Rodgers' job. And this is where I got on Aaron Rodgers. You got to be able to put that ball with Adams and with Jones out of the backfield. You got to figure out how to put that ball in the end zone and put the game away. And they didn't. They had to kick a field goal. And from there, the Niners defense really got after Rodgers. They chased him, and which Rodgers is good on the run, but as he was running, he's not like Mahomes or Allen where he could run and get 15 yards. He's trying to run to find a player who's open, and no one was open. And that happened over and over and over. So now the Niners have an opportunity, and they just kept getting stopped over and over and over. 10-3. It looks like the Green Bay could win the game 10-3. But Garoppolo gets stopped on 4th and 1. Green Bay stuffs him at the Green Bay 19-yard line. And from there, Frisco's defense shuts them down. Aaron Rodgers is sacked by Armstead. So now you got to punt the ball in the end zone. And Eric Armstead had a great game, too, to go along with Bosa. Their front four was fantastic. Corey Bojorquez, I believe his name is, blocks the punt. And Hufanga returns it for 6 yards. He ran up the middle, and the person who's responsible for blocking had a very lazy, poor block. It was costly. And the coach of Green Bay said special teams might cost us, and it did. It's 10-10 with 4:50 left, and I knew the Niners are going to win this game. I knew Green Bay, and as much as I respect and love Rodgers, I knew they weren't going to score. They shut Green Bay down to nothing. So they punt the ball back, and the Frisco has the ball at the 29-yard line. I'm going to tell you something. Jimmy G threw about 4 passes that should have been pick sixes. He threw a bad interception, but he can be clutch at times, and he was clutch because he threw the ball to Deebo Samuel for 14 yards. Kittle with a 12-yard beautiful pass to get him going. They get the ball 3rd and 7, and Deebo Samuel does it again. He almost beat Dallas on a run on 4th down, and this time he does beat Green Bay because it got him closer. It's going to be too long a field goal attempt. It got him nice and close. They run the clock down. They kick the field goal. They win. And the Niners, from that fumble from Mercedes Lewis, because Green Bay was really pushing them around, on to the end of the game, the Niners and Mitchell started to run well. The Niners started to play 49er football. Mitchell had 53 hard yards, Samuel 39, but they were important because in the second half, they started running better. And Garoppolo had a 57.1 QBR, and they end up winning because of how great that the back end was good. Sometimes they've gotten burned, but the secondary was outstanding, and they ended up winning. And kudos to Frisco. And I got to just give Shanahan and their staff and the heart they showed in Green Bay, the heart they showed overcoming mistakes where Dallas could have came back and stole that game. They figured out a way to win. They figured out a way to beat Green Bay when Green Bay was trying to blow them out in the first quarter. They just found a way. They overcame all those bad throws that Garofalo played through, and then Garofalo was able to get himself together, make enough plays to get that last field goal in when he wasn't going to take them into the end zone against Green Bay's defense. So they won on special teams. And kudos to Frisco for just finding a way. Now they're headed to, now they got to fight over confidence playing against LA. The way they were down 17-0, completely punked the Rams and beat them up, ended up winning in overtime. And they have to be super confident they're going to win and get to the Super Bowl and possibly rematch Patrick Mahomes and try to right that wrong that happened 2 years ago. But the Rams are going to have a lot to say about that. Okay, this pick I got wrong with Tennessee. It's just that it annoyed me the worst because of the mistakes that were made by Tennessee, starting off the game with an interception. And you know what that does to a road team with not much experience? It settles them down. Okay, we got an interception. We get a field goal. Now we're in the game. We got the lead. We can relax. Whereas Tennessee could have jumped on them and really made it hard. And they ended up going up 6-0. So they kept them in the end zone because they sacked Joe Burrow 9 times. When you sack a quarterback 9 times and lose, you are just there's reasons. But now Tennessee comes back and scores, and they end up trying to get a 2-point conversion. I didn't like the play, so it's tied at 6. And then the Bengals get a field goal, so they're up 9-6, and now they're feeling good. We're up 9-6, okay. And the Bengals were able to drive down the field. Joe Mixon, the first drive of the second half, Joe Mixon started to get going. He ends up, it was a beautiful 16-yard touchdown run. So they're up. Tannehill passes, they're driving first and goal because they're running. Foreman is running like wild. Tannehill throws a horrible interception, but then the Bengals commit a taunting penalty. So that could have been, the Bengals could have put the game away. But that was the most selfish penalty I ever saw by Eli Apple. And they ended up not getting anywhere. So now they have to punt the ball. And now that kind of, all right, Tennessee they do end up getting a field goal. Now, the hooker drops the ball, and that's an interception. Now the Cincinnati is reeling, and Tannehill he did throw a beautiful pass. He had 3 interceptions, but he threw a beautiful pass to A.J. Brown, which he really could have kept going to. It's a tie score. You're thinking, okay, Tennessee's, after all the bad penalty and the fumble on the interception, the drop that led to an interception that led to the tie score. Okay, Tennessee's okay now. Fourth quarter, all right, Derrick Henry will run. They're sacking Joe Burrow like crazy. He got sacked one time that got him at a field goal range. They had to punt the ball with 2:52 after Joe Burrow took a terrible sack. Tennessee has the ball, 2:43. Okay. You got A.J. Brown and Julio Jones who's playing well. You could run Henry. They get a first down, but they're taking their sweet time. It just was a mess. It was a messy way they were running. And then Tannehill, 28 seconds left. You got the ball to 40. Okay. You know what? You can get 30 yards down the field with AJ Brown and Julio Jones, you could screen pass to Henry. You could figure that out. But Tannehill tries to throw the ball to their rookie receiver. It goes off his hands, and Logan Wilson recovers it. And they were all over that receiver, and Tannehill still threw it. It's a horrible throw. And hey, Joe Cool is going to lead you. Once you make that mistake, and it's at the Cincinnati 47-yard line, Joe Cool's going to make enough plays with Chase, and they ended up winning. And that's a bad loss. And I blame the whole game on Ryan Tannehill. Starting off with an interception, ending off with an interception, a bad read. You could have threw the ball, you could have threw it out of bounds and came back with a play where Julio Jones, or you can't go to your fifth option with the game on line. That's just stupidity. And I can't, Tennessee, since the 1999, they just lose so many bad games. The Baltimore games, they lost. They lost to Baltimore 3 times. It's just, they're always losing when they're not supposed to. It's just, this was bad. And then the end of the game, not showing a sense of urgency. That's on Vrabel. And they're not going to win a Super Bowl with Ryan Tannehill quarterback. He might get to the playoffs. But now that I've seen enough of Ryan Tannehill. Now, on the flip side, congrats to Cincinnati. Zach Taylor changed their culture. Joe Burrow comes in to go along with that. And Joe Cool makes plays. They got a lot of weapons. Uzama, Chase, Higgins, Mixon when he's running out of the backfield. They're going to be a handful for Kansas City to play. The only thing is with Joe Burrow getting sacked that many times, if you get sacked 6 or 7 times in Kansas City, you're getting beat. You can do that with Ryan Tannehill. You can't do that, Patrick, punting that ball back to Patrick Mahomes. That's not going to happen. That would be my worry. The offensive line will keep Cincinnati at the Super Bowl because they blocked and Joe Burrow has time. Joe Burrow's not going to be afraid to walk into Arrowhead. He can go in there and take care of business. But the problem is the offensive line is so bad, I couldn't trust them.